Hey girl, hey.
Hey girl.
Hey girl. How you doing? Hey, so we're actually checking in about 5 minutes early because we have so much to cover. We are live on the Facebook, as the chatter chick would say. This is the Hey Girl Hey podcast, which you can hear on Urban Media Today Radio every Saturday at 9:30 a.m. You can find us on all streaming apps everywhere. And just in case this is your first time checking in, I'll just introduce myself. I am Kiki Brown, your radio chick, and then we have
I am the millennial chick.
Jeer.
Yes.
All right, and our chatter chick may or may not join us today. We don't know because it's her world. But then we also have, I think we call her the voter chick or the VEEM chick. What did we call you? Was it the voter chick?
Voter chick.
The voter chick has joined us today. Maryn Formley, she is the founder of VEEM Pittsburgh. That's VEEEM Pittsburgh, and that stands for Voter Empowerment, Enrichment, Education Movement. Did I say it? I always mix it up.
You almost got it.
You almost got it. So you tell us what VEEM stands for.
You basically had all the words, just the one was switch. Voter Empowerment, Education and Enrichment Movement. Hey ladies, hey Facebook, hey everybody. Thanks for having me tonight.
All right. So again, if you are new to the show, or maybe you're a friend to the show, you know how it goes. We're going to hit up hot topics first, and we're going to talk about your favorite celebrities and what your favorite celebrities are doing. And then for the second half, we're going to get serious. We're going to talk about voters' rights. It's been in the news for a few weeks now. Some states, or even our top government, is fighting for voters' rights, or some of them are fighting against it. And then there's a filibuster, and nobody knows what that is. And I don't think we're not paying, I don't think we're paying enough attention to it. And so prayerfully, Maryn will be able to help us understand what this is and what we need to do as registered voters. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So I need to put my timer. What we're going to do is we're going to touch on this week's hot topics. Bless you, Fred. Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is in the news. No, he didn't have another baby yet, but he revealed that he has some insecurities, as we all do. But did you know that Nick Cannon is insecure about his body?
You know what's strange? A lot of celebrities are. So I'm not surprised, which is why a lot of celebrities get plastic surgery. Not saying that Nick has gotten plastic surgery, but it's the image that has to be portrayed. Like, you have to have a good body in the industry. So even though to us he looks good, like he looks great, but to him he's probably thinking it's not enough. So I can understand why he has insecurities, but it's like you said, all of us has it, but for celebrities it's a lot different. So I can understand it.
He says he Winnie the Pooh's it. So when he's in bed, he just has on a shirt, and yeah.
He looks fine though, but yeah.
I get it. I'm insecure. I just don't see why he would be. He has a nice body. I don't see why he would be insecure. I thought he'd be out like Antonio Brown on the field, just running around, like he's just, but that's what we think. What do you think, Maryn?
I was just gonna say, like, I'm not surprised that he has some insecurities about it. And I try to think about what if my whole life and livelihood was based on how I looked, and therefore who wanted me on their show and all that. So but I was surprised to hear that that follows him into his bedrooms that he's in with his women's.
Clearly
that part is
it's not that much of a worry, because
they must be all right with it. Well,
he's doing something. So yeah. I we all have our own insecurities, and I guess that I don't know if it's something that you have to go through with, through therapy and talking to somebody about it. But you would think that the women are like, oh my God, you're built like a god, a Greek god. I don't know. Or maybe, I don't know. He said he's always been skinny. And so because he's always been skinny, he's never looked at himself, as attractive. And so it's like, and I wonder if you get those big body dudes, those big dudes that are maybe not muscular, they got the little beer gut. And I wonder if that boosted up their confidence a little bit more by him saying that he's, insecure about his body. I wonder if they were like,
yeah.
Okay, come get this big old tub of loving, ladies.
just like when Will was showing off his dad bod, but really he was preparing for King Richard. Remember that? But
I didn't even think that was bad. Like, even though he had the stomach and he had the dad bod, it wasn't even bad. Like, it wasn't like, I was like, what dad bod? What are you talking? That's what somebody's daddy look like? Oh, okay.
It was
the older I get, the less I care. I don't know.
Listen. Not with me. Okay, so I hardly, it's very rare that I give Cardi B her props. And I'm not saying that she's a bad person. I'm just not I'm not a complete fan, but I will say I'll give her a hand clap for this one. She said it was reported that she will be covering all the funeral costs to the Bronx fire victims. She has stepped in to cover all the expenses, the funeral and the burial expenses for them. She says, I'm extremely proud to be from the Bronx. I have lots of family and friends who live there and work there. So when I heard about the fire and all the victims, I knew I needed to do something to help. I cannot begin to imagine the pain and anguish that the families of the victims are experiencing, but I hope that not having to worry about the costs associated with burying their loved ones will help as they move forward and heal. Wow.
That's very so. One thing I will say I like about Cardi B is she is for the people. And I know even when the whole thing when Biden was getting elected for president, and she had him talking to him, and who else was she talking to? The other guy. Oh my God, I can't think of his name, but I'm talking about
Bernie Sanders.
Okay, how can I forget Bernie? But she uses her platform really well, and she helps out as much as she can. I would say that I love that about her. So shout out to her for covering expenses, for those families from obviously a neighborhood that she's from. So good for her. I'm glad.
That's what's up. Shout out to Cardi. That's all we can say. I don't like everything that she does. She's talking about possibly getting a tattoo on her face. It was like,
I've seen that. I've seen that. Like, no.
Whatever, girl. Enjoy. Whatever. It's her face.
It's a tattoo. That tattoo's on there forever.
I know.
So be strategic. That part, that's true. Be strategic. Like I pushed it with this one. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. And my sister was like, it's my birthday. And I was like,
right.
Okay.
You can, cover it with a little foundation.
I've tried. And I actually think it's cute, especially when your nails is long.
Right.
It's
nice. It's
right. Right. All right. So shouts to Cardi B. Jay-Z and Meek Mill are teaming up, not for an album, but they're teaming up with Fat Joe and Kelly Rowland and Robin Thicke. Although that would be a dope ass record though. That would be like hot. That would be hot. Let's see if we can tweet something about that. Okay, but they're going to work together to push for law that will prohibit New York prosecutors from using rap lyrics as evidence.
Okay.
Yeah. Meek Mill, of course, he has a rap sheet. And so I think that because of his lifestyle, where he's come from, I think that could have possibly put him in the situation that he was in, previously. And since he's been out, he's been advocating for people who have been falsely accused and just advocating for inmates and things like that. So this, according to the Jasmine brand, the legislation passed through the New York Senate Codes Committee January 18th, first proposed November of last year by a senator in Manhattan. A few senators, Jay-Z, Meek Mill, multiple celebrities have backed the bill. and the letter was reportedly sent to the state lawmakers from Jay-Z's attorney, which signed by the musicians who backed the bill, explaining the importance of the legislation. I do think that it shouldn't be the reason why they are, found guilty,
Right.
But here's my thing.
I know where you feel like I know where you're going. Go ahead.
If you're Suge Knight and you drive over somebody twice, killing them, you're going to be found guilty for that murder. But it also doesn't look good for you when you've been doing this, hanging folks out the window, and allegedly you killed Biggie. I don't know.
Right.
It doesn't help. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Maryn, what did you think I was saying?
I mean, I think that there's definitely something to be said about people who do things and then go make songs about it. And then, you know what I mean? Like, so singing about it doesn't make it, or rapping about it doesn't make it, that you did it, but also like have some discretion. I don't know what I'm thinking about, but
No,
like,
because there's actually a rapper, and Jerry, you might know that rapper that talked about an event where somebody was killed, and he like mentioned it in his song, Yellow something.
Yellow Beezy.
Yeah, and he's in jail. He's in jail for that now, right?
That I don't know. That's news to
But
me.
he talked about, okay, maybe he's not. Don't quote me on it. But he talked about a situation where somebody was killed, like in his. I don't know if it was him. I have to ask my son. But my son, I remember my son was listening to his music, and he was like, "This guy is so stupid. I can't believe he said this. Like he committed a crime and rapped about it." So, but okay, when they're talking to the legislation or lawmakers to push this bill, are they going to also encourage the rappers to be like, chill?
Right.
That would help, right?
I never understood why rappers have been talking about killing people for years in their raps, and it's like we heard it, but we like the song too much that we're not paying it no attention. Like they're telling on themselves, basically, what they were guilty of it before or not. You know what I mean? I never thought it was a good idea for them to do that. However, what Jay-Z and Mill is trying to do, I understand, because like a rap is, music is art, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the time it's like, don't hold it against them. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's what I'm trying to say is it's a good idea for you not to get,
I mean, but we've been rapping about money, cars, garden tools. We've been rapping about popping bottles in the in the clubs, and knowing dang well you catching the bus, working at rallies, and but it got serious. Like, I mean, you think Tekashi, I mean, that's how they make their money, and there's an audience for it. So I think if they're gonna push lawmakers, I also think they should push the artists too, and but that's how they make their money. So this is gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
Because Jay-Z, like, look, man, I'm trying to make sure you don't go to jail. I'm gonna need you to stop rapping. They're gonna have the rap police, the lyric police that's gonna come in. I mean, now you got to think about the Constitution. You got freedom of speech, and we're all on that again. Censorship, and I don't know. So I think it's cool that they teamed up for it.
Right.
Agreed. Yeah. All right, Maryn, this is the time we're going to cover Who the F Cares news.
Okay.
These were hot topics that folks were talking about, on social media, and some of them have actually just popped up. So we're going to cover these right here. So I did not see the video because it makes me sick to even talk about it. But there was this pastor on social media, Pastor Mike Todd. He rubbed spit on a man's face to demonstrate.
Yeah,
What per se?
I've seen it.
According to the Jasmine brand, the lead pastor, Transformation Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma, shout him out, Michael Todd, making headlines. It was a clip that had gone viral. The pastor was giving a sermon in front of his congregation. He spit in his hand and then rubbed his spit on another person's face. I'm just surprised the man was still sitting there.
They said I was
concocting.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care. I'd have punched my sister in the face. I'd have punched her dead in the face. Anyway, the man is said to have been his brother, and the pastor does this while demonstrating the vision from God might get nasty. There's other ways you could have demonstrated that example.
He could have used water. You know what I mean? Like put water on his hand, and there's other ways you could have done it.
Yeah,
pretended. You could pretend.
Yeah, like you know what I mean?
It was a.
It's just something about spitting on someone that's the most vulgar,
nasty, very disrespectful
thing.
It's COVID.
And right.
That part. There you go.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, and Pastor Michael Todd, like he's done some amazing things with transformation. I've, read some of his sermons and devotional stuff like that. But no, sir. That then it just I always love it when like something like happens in like the Black church world and like saved Twitter and Facebook just loses their whole mind.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't watch the video. It was all up and down by these feet. I said, "Oh Lord, what he done did." Oh, well, back in the day, spit is healing, and that's what Jesus did when he spit in the mud. What did he not?
You are not Jesus, sir. These are different times.
You could have went.
It was different back then.
And we all would have known you were spitting. You didn't really. Oh, I didn't watch it. I can't. No.
Spit was different back then. This is a different type of spit.
This is 20. Like this is not the same.
This is not the same spit, sir. He has since apologized. He did address it. He says the man was his brother. He also apologized, calling it too extreme and disgusting. I wonder what his brother said. He probably had a date sitting in the church, like, yeah, that's my boo. He about to be up there with his brother, the pastor, and so he was like,
that happened.
That was gross. I didn't like that. There was other ways and examples he could have.
Yeah, so he could have done something different. All right. I need to know if Maryn did this. Maryn, did you ask for Madea to come back? I need to know. Did you send Tyler Perry an email? Did you put out a Google form? And ask people to sign this Google form?
Madea keeps retiring. It's her last show. It's her last movie.
Didn't she die? I thought she died.
Or something. I don't know. And next thing you know, I see somebody put it on their story. And it was Tyler as Madea in like
Homecoming. Homecoming.
I said, oh Lord, today.
I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get it.
What is movie? Like, because I didn't really read.
He's going to be on Netflix, a Netflix movie. He recently explained why he's bringing her back. Basically, he said we all need more laughter.
Okay.
He said, I was looking at the state of the world and how polarized it is. Nobody's laughing. Nobody's getting the chance to belly laugh anymore. And I'm like, what tool do I have in my arsenal that can bring that kind of laughter?
Madea going to
Madea Homecoming on Netflix, February 25th.
There we go.
I'm Black History Month. That ain't some.
During Black.
I can't. You know what else I can't do? I can't understand why T.I. thinks that he could be a comedian. T.I. says, instead of being a rapper, now he hit the stage to debut his stand-up comedy. What is happening?
No, shut up, Kiki. You're making up stories on this here podcast.
According to the Jasmine brand, Southern rapper T.I. is now a stand-up comedian, or at least that's what his wife, Tiny, says in an Instagram post. A video she posted was filmed from the perspective of an audience member at a lounge. T.I. can be seen taking the stage wearing jeans and a hoodie, performing stand-up. She says, this guy, Trouble Man 31, adds stand-up comedian to my love's resume, and he's just getting started. This pandemic got folk just
like all types of hobbies and interests.
got folk just all.
But whatever happened with the allegations with the girls?
We're not listen. We're not thinking about that right now.
Oh, I am.
We're not thinking about that right now.
You want to?
Yeah, we're not thinking about that. We're not thinking about that right now. That's we ain't gonna bring up old stuff now here. Yeah, you hear me? We're not. We're gonna tell these here jokes.
Tell these here jokes.
Tell these here jokes. So I hear Celebrity Big Brother, and there's issue on Celebrity Big Brother. Now, this is a news story, so bear with me. Again, thanks to the Jasmine brand, Tiffany New York Pollard, I don't even know why she's so famous. She will not be joining Celebrity Big Brother because she's not vaccinated. Plus, Neo, Lamar Odom, Sha'Carri Richardson allegedly have cast. I don't even know why. This is why it's on Who the F Cares News. Why is this news? According to unconfirmed reports, TV veteran
I'm sorry.
Tiffany New York Pollard is now allegedly out and will not join the series because she's not vaccinated.
So wait, Celebrity Big Brother's gonna have the other people on there too? Because I got stuck at they gonna be on. Is that why they were Lamar Odom, Neo?
The remaining rumored casts: Nene Leakes, Neo, Lamar Odom, and Sha'Carri Richardson, all folk who need money right now.
Mm-hmm.
They all gonna be in a house together?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh no, that's a lot going on.
That's so different.
I want to see it.
Okay.
That's gonna be a lot of drama. But that's why it's in Who the F Cares News. So I've you know what, before we get to Maryn, we're going to kind of talk about politics. This morning I was watching the Today Show, and I saw Savannah Guthrie. She was interviewing Vice President Kamala Harris. And if you know Savannah, I back Savannah because I'm a big fan, but she's not only a journalist, but she's also an attorney, and so is Kamala Harris. So both of them know how to argue. Both of them know what to do to get their points across, right? And so I felt some kind of way about Kamala. They were talking about, Putin and what he's doing over in Russia, and if he tries to invade Syria, I don't remember the country, excuse my ignorance, but she was defending President Biden, and Savannah would jump in to ask a question, and the whole I am speaking, please allow me to speak. And I was just like, ma'am, you gotta learn how to fight. You gotta get up, you better talk loud. And as I said, as I was saying, ma'am, I am speaking. Please allow me to speak. Allow me to speak. I am speaking. And Savannah was like, I hear you. So we're going to ask this question or not. And so now Savannah Guthrie's getting backlash because she was rude to the vice president. You say what?
Me?
Anybody. Jerry's not up that early, I'm sure. She ain't watching the Today Show.
You know what?
Neither do I.
Sometimes, and Good Morning America. But I watch more so Good Morning America, like with the black guy on there with the real pretty eyes.
I'm mad that you don't even know what his name is and you watch the show.
He is so handsome now. He is so handsome.
Oh, the new guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know who y'all talk about.
But see, with both of them being attorneys, immediately we don't look at them in powerful positions. I looked at them in very powerful positions. They are lawyers and they are going to go to bat for whatever they stand on. So why did we immediately say one was being rude to the other? Was it a black-white issue? You know what I'm saying? Are we, oh, Savannah was being rude to Vice President Harris. Why do you think she was being rude? Because she was interrupting. If you ever hear Savannah Guthrie interview anyone, she always interrupts.
Right.
She always, and that doesn't make it right, but she didn't switch up on Kamala Harris.
Right. I can actually appreciate that. Don't switch up.
Yeah.
Oh no, she was like
the objective one.
She is like, no, but I need you to understand the question. Okay, let me ask you another question. And the person's like, well, I didn't even answer well, you got to be quick.
Yeah.
We only got but so much time. I need you to hurry up. I don't need you to be playing around with words. Okay. Y'all don't watch it, so all right.
I don't want that as a watch.
Right. We're gonna take it.
TV in my bedroom. I'm sorry.
That's okay. There's an app though, and it's also on social media. You can see the whole thing. It's everywhere now. People are making it like Savannah was rude, and now there's like Twitter talk. And I was like, "You good, Savannah? Don't be what girl you? Yeah, all right, girl. Don't be worried about them. Don't let them steal your joy, girl." So we're gonna take a quick break. And then Maryn Formley, who is the founder of VEEEM Pittsburgh, Voter Empowerment, Education, and Enrichment Movement. We're going to talk about this whole situation happening with the voters' rights legislation and why we're not passing, and what's happening with the Democrats, the Republicans. This is John Lewis's legacy. What is a filibuster? Why did Senator Mitch McConnell say what he said about African-American voters? And what does this mean for those who are registered voters, those who are not, and those who are still on the fence? Like, this is why I don't trust government. Does this do more damage? Does it help? What happens? And so to the best of her ability, she's going to help explain to us and hopefully answer some questions that we should all be asking, and hopefully we're all curious to know more information. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Maryn Formley of VEEEM Pittsburgh. Be right back. It's the Hey Girl Hey podcast on Urban Media Today. Hold tight. That's you. You suck.
That's why I didn't do it.
When LaShawn is here, LaShawn is the one that counts down. But when LaShawn's not here, Jerry be like,
I'm like,
so it's the Hey Girl Hey podcast on Urban Media Today with special guest Maryn Formley, who is the founder of VEEEM Pittsburgh, and that's Voter Empowerment, Education, and Enrichment Movement. You all have been around since what, 2017. And anytime there's an election season, you will see VEEEM. VEEEM is everywhere. VEEEM is in the streets. They're knocking on your doors. We're on social media. We're covering the elections. We're making sure you're registered to vote, and you're providing information to the community about the candidates. You're giving the candidates platforms to speak, and so I thank you, my good friend and my soror. Thank you so much for being here again. She's the voter chick. She was on the show before. I think we were talking about one of the elections and how important the elections are. All elections matter.
Yep.
Right.
But for this particular visit, Maryn, I would like to talk about the latest on voters' rights, passing the voters' rights legislation. So according to CNN, Senate Democrats suffered a major defeat on Wednesday evening in their efforts to pass voters' rights legislation, a key issue for their party, which is under pressure to take action ahead of the midterm elections just months away. So we're hearing about Florida, we're hearing about Georgia. I don't know if Pennsylvania is involved. Can you tell us what's happening? What is going on?
So there's really a whole bunch happening. You got to go back to election 2020, right? It was all kinds of shenanigans going on, all kinds of lawsuits happening, claims of voter fraud in every state to try to keep the Republican president at that time in the office. VEEEM is nonpartisan. We're just going to talk about, who the people were. So, at that time, there was a lot of Republican challenges to result in multiple states, especially the battleground states, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, to name a few. And so what we saw, then we had January 6th happen, right? They were supposed to be certifying the votes, and, chaos took over, right? And we're actually seeing some of those hearings and things happen for the people who were involved in that mess in DC, trying to usurp the Capitol. And so some of them went to go, storm Capitol Hill, and some folks went back to their offices in their assignments and legislatures, and went to go pass laws to try to combat the things that they think they saw. So there's all kinds at the state level, there are all kinds of voting rights, like voting and changes to voting laws across our states. And the way that the Constitution is, and with the amendments, there is room that allows states' rights to overturn. That allows them, unless the federal government comes up top and the federal government has a law that usurps everybody. So what's happening right now, and what's been happening, and what happened back in 1967, I think, I always get that Voting Rights Act year messed up, but what happened back then, and parts of that legislation expired. They've been able to put little pieces in it, but now the Democratic majority of the Senate was trying to push forward a bill that was going to cover making Election Day in November a national holiday, so nobody would have to work. They were trying to make mail-in ballots a thing across the country, a few things like that, and making sure so that there would be some protections at the federal level, that the state laws, no matter what they were doing down here, could not impact people. And especially with, social justice, summer, all these things, right? Like equity is a big thing. Elevating Black and brown people and people of color right now was a thing. And so recognizing, that, and this is Kamala's baby, really, she's really at the forefront of this, of trying to push, and Biden along with her, of making sure that people's rights are being intact. So with the Voting Rights Act, with any law, and I don't want to go like too far down into it. I got a little bit of it. I ain't got it all though. I ain't got it all. But with any law that's being fought about in Congress and Senate and things of that nature, Senate has this ability to, if they don't want to vote on it, they can just get up there and talk forever.
That's called a filibuster.
That's called the filibuster. But what's happened lately, more recently, it used to be that, you could have a filibuster until a certain amount of the Senate stopped it, and then it would bring it to a vote. Then they changed the number of votes you had to have to make the filibuster stop, which is called cloture, apparently. I done learned all kinds of stuff getting ready for today. I said, about stuff. Oh, my goodness.
I learned about filibuster watching Scandal.
Yep. That's a good one.
She had to hold her going to the bathroom. So that's how I knew about filibuster. But go ahead.
Right. We've seen it in TV and in popular culture. Yes, that's where we've seen it. But in the real world now, it's because of the fact that the numbers have to be, I think, 60. So so Senate is one Democrat, one Republican from each state, I guess is how it breaks down, or at least right now there's 50 and 50. So if you get 60 people to agree to something, then basically that you got what you want. And so basically when everything with Senate that's going on, it's constantly this whole, can we get 60? Can we not get 60? Can we get 60? And so what they do is, it's now called almost like a silent filibuster, because they just threaten, oh, you want to bring that Voting Rights Act back up? Well, what if I filibuster? Then what you gonna do? And they know they don't have enough votes to stop it, to stop them from doing the filibuster, because they can basically go to filibuster until Senate's out. And then the vote dies, the bill dies, because it has to be voted on.
So this voters' right bill is wrong.
No, the Voting Rights Act is good. The Voting Rights Act would give us as Americans across the country certain protections, but that it is a Democratic
That's a
Party.
gain for the Democrats. It's
Yes.
a loss for the Republican Party.
I mean, yes. And so the problem is that the things that are in this bill, the Republicans don't agree on. And so they keep saying, we're going to filibuster, we're going to filibuster, we're going to filibuster. So during this debate, and if you ever have participated with parliamentary procedure, there are certain motions that can come in and kind of stop debate on that thing. So they have voting rights acts on this voting rights bill on the floor.
Mhm.
This motion to change what filibuster means comes in and stops the debate on the voting rights, and therefore could change how debate goes.
Now, you explaining that, you could lose the average voter. Because that's just way too many words. So how can all this be simplified? Dumb it down. Not dumb it down for me.
I've been
So
trying to make it. I've been trying to get it so I can understand. That's the furthest I got, and that's me being, having a membership in the Parliamentary Society of the Nation. But I still don't really get it. What it really kind of means is that my takeaway from it, and maybe we could just jump to that, is you as a registered voter or as a person who is impacted by laws, which is all of us, we cannot ever let up, because the reality is the people who are in these offices and in these bodies, making these decisions, having these debates, holding these filibusters, doing these votes, are only there because we put them there. That's the reality of it. So whoever you put there has the ability to change the tide. And whoever it is that put Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema in with their little moderate selves, which, okay, that's what they get to be. And, again, we're not going to get too party, but those two are really creating a headache for the whole party, because normally the Democrats go together and the Republicans go together. And then we can kind of, just talk across the aisle and try to convince each other. But because we have these two that are supposed to be from the blue side is over here sitting with the red.
That's what I was going to say. Aren't there some Democrats who are fighting this as well?
It's those are the two. And they've been the ones this whole time putting up, because they're moderate and they apparently tend to agree more with the Republican Party. And so that majority that the Senate should have, that the Democrats did have with Chuck Schumer is the majority leader. It's not really a majority because 52 of their votes are not going to the Democratic way. 52 are kind of voting more Republican. And so each time they have to try to come and do that work, they don't have a majority. So then we just sit there like this. We don't go left or right. We just la 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 la.
The people that are fighting for this, and I'm sorry to take over, I'm just totally interested. Hey, LaShawn. Chatter Chick is in the building. Hey, boo. Are the seats up for these particular senators who are fighting for this? Are their seats up? No.
To me,
some of them.
To me, so yes, some of them are.
Mhm.
Our Pennsylvania, one of our Pennsylvania senators, Pat Toomey, his seat is about to be up, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, because there are people running for it. Okay, because I've been thinking about who is running for each seat, and I'm like,
I only say that because voters can actually vote them out if they don't like what they're doing for, the voters' rights. They can, if their seats are up, vote them out. But then again, it's like, well, who's their replacement? Potential replacement, and will they?
But then also, though, we got to show up. I mean, I'll probably have to come back and talk more later, but across the state where we just had all these judges and state representatives and all that in November, our turnout was like 25% across the state. And even in the city of Pittsburgh, we had a whole mayoral election, 32%. That's it. 32% of registered voters in the city of Pittsburgh cared about who the mayor was going to be.
Wow.
That's crazy. Right? Like, it's the mayor. care. But that is what, we're really, I think the biggest thing that we're battling is apathy, and people who are just tired and sick and tired of the shenanigans. And so they're just like, you know what, I don't want to participate. And that's the fault of the folks who are in charge, the people who have been the, politicians of old. And now we got the new folks coming in, the progressives that are really trying to shake some things up on either side, and all of the parties, all of the major, the minor parties. So it's just, it's that's why we have to show up. That's why we have to make noise. That's why we have to call our representatives and leave messages that they're not going to return. But sometimes you'll get an email 6 months later saying, hey, thanks for reaching out about that.
I think that the voters, we're just, like you said, we are tired. We're doing all the work. We're expected to show up and vote. We're expected to register to vote. We're expected to fight and, contact our government officials if something goes wrong. But when it comes to putting them in office, we're not, some of us are expecting something, some type of reward, and we're not. It's still costing us as a people. I don't know if it was you, Maryn, someone on social media had posted, like, all these people were commenting about the snow being removed, like the streets being, if all these same people that was complaining about the snow being plowed on the streets just walked up to the, I don't know if it was the same thing, but it was just like, we pick and choose what to be passionate over. We pick and choose, because we will stand in line for some Jordans.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It's like, you think about incentives. If you vote, you get a 25-inch flat screen TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll vote. I don't know. Sean, what you got? Boo.
So, this whole voting thing is I'm a voter, always have been. I mean, we didn't. And you turned, what was it, 18? You had to register to vote, and then you had to, because I'm a woman, certain age, you had to register for the armed services and stuff like that. So,
That's why people didn't do it.
Yeah, so in my family, you were going to vote, and you didn't have to really worry about the armed forces, because you weren't going to stay in my parents' house unless you had a job or you went to school.
Military.
But voting was the other thing that you were going to do.
Mhm.
So when it comes to all these things and these filibusters, when they sit there and they talk just incessantly to just keep debating, and it's like that boyfriend you can't get rid of because they just want to wear you out. And that's what they keep doing with these things. They just wear you out. And that's the whole goal of these things, is to wear people out so that they'll forget about the main subject.
Mhm.
And it's been quite honestly, it's been proven to work. So that's why they're doing this. And so when it comes to the point of our own legislators, Pittsburgh is my city. I love it. I've been here all of my life. We come out to vote on certain things, but we'll do a presidential vote, like everybody will be out there. But on a local level, it's scattered. I mean, you can just walk in and vote on a local. I mean, you can go any time of day when it's local people, and there's not a line. Not a line.
That's right.
And these are the people that really speak for us.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that speak.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be a Joe Manchin in West Virginia. I mean, if there were, and he's Democratic and he's like kind of switching back and forth, but it's West Virginia. What do we expect? No, shouts out to West Virginia. I'm sorry, whatever. You all are cool. But yeah.
Except for that guy that hit that reporter. That's messed up.
Oh, that was in West Virginia.
That was in, I think that was in West Virginia. I believe that person that hit that reporter, that lady reporter, while she was live on TV. She all right though.
Yeah, she all right. But
that's West Virginia. That ain't cool.
West Virginia, you know what I mean? Like, but we're not that far from that border. I mean, we're like 20 minutes from the border.
Yeah.
So we border West Virginia on so much, and we do so much of the same things, but people just we're not getting it. We're not getting it. If you don't get out and vote locally, you're not changing anything nationally. It's going to be the same people, talking about our rights. Why are we talking about voters' rights? This is something, and this is ours, and we're talking about it.
It is 2022. Why are we?
Yeah.
Why are we talking about this?
We're still talking about this as if people aren't free.
Right.
So yeah,
Some of us
that's my
ain't.
whole take on it.
I don't know. I don't even know why I said that. What do you think, millennial chick? I know, you kind of tune out when we talk about this stuff. Jerry be like this.
I'm just trying to grasp it, all it's a learning how it was hard for African Americans to vote and having to have to fight for the right to vote, and women having to fight, the right to vote. It is, very, very important that we get out there and do more of it. I don't know if this is a thing where, in a lot of people my age, who are millennials, we still don't know what we're voting for. And I think that could be an issue as well. I will admit to that. Like, when it comes to like voting, the only thing I know really to vote for is, the president. And I don't know what more I should be doing. So it's like, what could we do to eliminate, what more could millennials do to eliminate, this problem? Because we could be part of the problem too, but it's something that I'm interested in learning more about. And I'm curious about, like, because we're the change for the future, you know what I mean? Like, we are the ones that are,
we are too.
Yes, you are as well. You are as well.
Call us old again. Here she go calling us old.
There's people of a certain
again.
age. Yeah, you do. You stay on calling people.
Stay calling somebody old.
Yeah, you gonna come up off of that. You gonna come up off of that, Jerry. You gonna come up off of that. But
I didn't mean it that way.
You never do. You never do.
But there are people. There are people that are mature. People of certain age that don't vote either. They have never. They refuse to. Refuse to. I mean,
always got something to say.
Always got something to say.
Always got something to say.
I know a guy who does not believe in like the court system, and so he told his girl he's not going to marry her because he don't believe in going to the courthouse or getting a license to say that And I hate to put his business out there, but I just thought it was kind of funny.
What's his name, girl? What's his name? Tell me. I ain't gonna tell nobody.
His name is Tyrone.
All right, Tyrone.
Call Tyrone. But Ty said he don't believe in that. He don't believe in going to the courthouse. He don't believe in voting. He believe in none of that. So Ty got in some stuff where he needed a judge. And so this particular person I know, she was like, you know of any judges? I said, yeah. She was like, do you think they can help Ty? I was like, he don't even believe in judges. Like, how you gonna get out of jail, Ty?
You're gonna learn today.
How you gonna get out of jail?
Hey, this ain't Monopoly, Ty.
Right. Ty and I believe he's still in there. I don't know. I mean, I'm always trying to help him. I'm always trying to help a brother out. But he doesn't believe in like the whole, I mean, like, and I say that because there's people that are mature ages just don't believe in that whole voting thing. He works and don't even vote for a union. And
but they took that money that Biden was giving out. They took that money. They took them loans.
He got his
money.
I need to call. I'm gonna have to check up on him, see if he's still in.
You better call. You gonna call Tyrone.
See if he in the jail, because I think he's still in a poke. I mean, in a jail. It's not the pokey. That's not even nice to say. Oh, forgive me, Jesus. But anyway.
Oh, good Lord,
I don't know what the pokey is. Maryn, did you hear about Senator Mitch McConnell? He said African American voters are voting in just as high a percentage as Americans, and he received scrutiny behind his comments. I want to say he misspoke, but Black Twitter is saying he racist.
I think there's a few things and I was just thinking about this.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a racist history to the filibuster, because the only time that party pulls it out is when it's about something about voting, and about apparently, and most of the time when it has to do with Black and brown people. That has been proven over and over again.
Okay.
There's regular stuff when there's, raise the taxes, stuff like that. It's just whatever. But as soon as it's something that's like really kind of a so-called Black or brown issue, here come the filibuster out. So that's one of the things, and that's really part of why it could have been a good conscious measure to say, you know what, this is a racist thing we've been doing. Let's change it so it's not so racist. And instead, and then they could have just went ahead and voted it down if they didn't like it. You don't have to keep using this tool. That's the thing. Y'all took a vote to take away this really problematic thing, or to at least give it less power, and you didn't. And so then when it comes time to talking about it, well, because again, really the main issue was about the voting rights bill that they were trying to pass. It reminds me a lot of the same debates about critical race theory. What? There wasn't any. No, people weren't mistreated. What are you talking about? No, African Americans can vote just as much as they want.
Is that thing about white folks being sensitive when talking about, let me pull it up. The white folks being sensitive about, what is it? A Florida bill would bar businesses and schools from making anyone feel discomfort or guilt about race. Is that what you mean?
Yep.
Or is it okay?
All of that, right? It's like an erasure of the fact that we've been in this, dealing with racism for the past 400 plus years. It's like, oh no, what? It's 2022. Racism doesn't exist. What are you talking about? African Americans don't have issues voting. There's no vote, voter intimidation happening. There aren't measures to keep. But what are you talking about? That's what Mitch McConnell's comment means. Is he's basically just saying like, oh no, they're voting just as much as white people. What are you talking about? We don't need to do this voting rights. This isn't a race issue. This is the Democrats trying to take control. That's what, and because they've said it enough, I guess they believe it. That's the crazy thing I feel like about living in today's world, is now people just say stuff and they say it enough that they just start to believe it, and then that becomes the truth. It's weird. It's so weird out here. We're in a whole public health crisis. Why are we fighting about wearing masks to keep each other from I don't get it. I'm so confused. But because we decided that masks was a political issue. Oh well, here we are.
Yeah.
So Jerry had mentioned about her generation needing to do more, needing to know more, and immediately my mind went to volunteering and canvassing, and that's something that VEEEM Pittsburgh promotes, needing volunteers, needing people, to sign people up to register, if that's going to help you better understand your place in this issue, and making a change, or being a part of the change, or being a part of positive change. Maryn, talk briefly, we have just a few minutes, about VEEEM Pittsburgh and what VEEEM does and how the community can continue to support VEEEM Pittsburgh.
So, as you know, we've already been talking about it, but VEEM's whole purpose is to increase voter turnout in Allegheny County, and particularly, among young voters and other groups that don't see the need to go there, but also, BIPOC communities. And, we specifically work with Homewood and East Hills, but we also do our programming that goes across Allegheny County. So I would invite people like Jerry and, anybody who feels like they don't know what's happening, or doesn't see the need, or maybe needs to understand more, to call us and start to follow us and listen in on some of our videos. We do a lot to try to educate voters, but the whole reality is that you have to come to the session, right? You have to watch it. You have to participate. And we're so welcome to feedback to find out how to get more people to tune in. How do we get you to care? Just like I don't watch the Today Show. I don't. You're right. I
still love you though. You're still my favorite. I still love you, but that right there.
You don't watch the Today Show?
Absolutely not. But when I had a TV,
I don't watch the Today Show.
Don't do that.
I would wake up to it. But now that I don't have a TV in my bedroom.
Good Morning America.
That's what I said. I watch Good Morning America.
I don't watch morning TV. Nope. Nope. Not at all.
Maryn, I think if you guys would create a video, because I would probably do this if I was more into like doing events, but you said you guys do videos. I tell you what was so instrumental to helping me as a child, how a bill, comes to Capitol Hill,
Oh, yeah.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock video.
So if
That
I
would be
know there's
cool.
teachers doing teachers doing are like they're doing stuff with kids to teach them how to learn things by rapping because that's the new thing. I think that needs to be the creation, not necessarily rap, but like, put it where where everybody can understand it, especially people of color, because it, Black and brown people, because it really affects us. But doing something like a Schoolhouse Rock to get us the understanding of why it's so important. I mean, I would even like to, assist and help with that video, but I'm not the video part, video queen. But I'm good with ideas and getting that part of it started. But I think since you said you have videos, that would be such a great thing. I know there's somebody probably listening to us right now, ready to jump on it, and it's okay if it can educate a lot of people, fine. Yeah. But but I think those things are really, really good because we're a visual people. We spend time on our laptops and our computers. We're podcast people. So if this is a video that just jumps out there, boom, and it's educational and it has a hook to it.
Now, if this happens, because anything can happen, anything is possible. Well, do you think that this, anybody could TikTok, TikTok makes people do whatever. So if there's a TikTok video, is that going to increase voter turnout? We only have like 5 minutes. Increase voter turnout. If VEEEM Pittsburgh puts together a TikTok video similar to Schoolhouse Rock, we're going to see an increase in voter turnout.
TikTok makes people act stupid.
No,
I don't know if it educates.
No. You've been looking at the wrong TikTok videos.
I was like, where do you get this?
No, but people people use TikTok videos to help victims of domestic violence. Okay. People use TikTok for cooking demonstrations, for mental health, mental awareness. So like it really, there's a genre for it. So good. I just want to know if this happens, can we expect an increase in voter turnout because of TikTok?
Education is key.
That's what I heard. I heard.
TikTok is I know people give backlash on TikTok, but this is the millennial in me. It is a great marketing tool. I mean, everybody uses TikTok, like you said, Kiki, for different purposes, aside from the funny videos and the skits and things like that. There's educational purposes. There was a woman who her son had like a diagnosis or whatever it was. She made TikTok videos on how she gets him ready every single day, and advice to parents who have kids with the same issues as her son. Any type of motivational or cooking or things like that. So TikTok is the wave. It is for the new year or for the last year up and coming. So that could be a good way. It's a great marketing tool. So
okay,
absolutely.
Well, we'll see what we come up with, Maryn.
Yes. And can I add one little thing? I know we're almost out of time.
Yes.
But I'm just trying to get the word out as much as possible. There are going to be 2 elections this spring. We have a special election on April 5th, as well as the primary on May 17th. Super, super important because Mayor Gainey's old seat is up, and because of when he left the office, it has to be filled. And they voted, the state legislature voted to have that election on April 5th. It will be an early election. Jake Wheatley may also end up on that same day or on a different day because he does not vacate his office until February 1st. So that's still up in the air, but I'm trying to make sure everybody knows if you live in that East End, Morningside, East Liberty, Homewood, Wilkinsburg, that whole section, Ward 13, East Hills, Holla, you have a special election on April 5th to determine who's going to have Ed Gainey's seat. There's already 4 people I know who are in the race already.
I saw that, yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's gonna be spicy out here. Like this election, don't miss out. This is the midterm. So April 5th, May 17th, tons of state and federal congressional things happening. Okay. Don't miss out. That's it.
Log on to VEEMPittsburgh.org or com. I should know. Org. It's org. I don't know why I said com. VEEMPittsburgh.org, VEEEM Pittsburgh.org, Voter Empowerment Education Enrichment Movement. Maryn Formley, thank you so much for being our guest today. Thank you so much, our voter chick. If you want to reach out to us via email, go to theheygirlheypodcast@gmail.com. Call us 412-709-6130. We are available on all streaming apps. If you need to find us, we are there. Just type in the Hey Girl Hey Podcast and you'll see these faces.
You'll see our lovely faces.
Those lovely faces right there. So I am your radio chick, Kiki Brown.
And I'm the chatter chick, LaShawn.
And y'all millennial chick, Jeer.
And we have our voter chick, Maryn Formley. Thank you so much. Maybe you could check in before the election, the April election and the May election, just to remind folks, is there a deadline to register to vote? Or is there a window like
Yes,
health insurance?
The voter registration deadline is always now 15 days before the election.
Okay.
So for people for that special one, we're going to be like somewhere around the middle of March, and then the other folks will be somewhere in the beginning of May.
Okay. All right. Well, appreciate you all checking in. Thank you so much for watching. Shouts to Elliot Dwayne from the HBCU alumni, Western Pennsylvania, HBCU alumni. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yep. So he checked in on Facebook. We are live on Facebook every Thursday, 7 p.m. recording this episode. If you're listening on Saturday, we appreciate you. Urban Media Today Radio. Thanks again for watching. It's the Hey Girl Hey Podcast on Urban Media Today.